same style, had the same haircut. Really bad in the winter, honestly.
한국을 방문하는 외국인들이 급격히 증가하고 있습니다. 한국에 처음 온 외국인들에게 가장 신기한 한국 문화는 무엇일까요? 우리에게는 평범한 일상이지만 알고 보면 신기하고 부러운 우리 문화가 많다고 하는데요. 한국에 잠깐 여행 왔다가 이곳이 좋아서 2년째 한국살이 중인 미국 여대생 에이드리안은 외국인들을 대상으로 한국에 대한 영상을 제작했습니다. 잠깐 여행만 하고 돌아가는 외국인과 달리 한국살이 6개월 차에 접어든 에이드리안에게 비친 한국의 모습은 이전에 우리가 알던 것과는 조금 다릅니다. 그녀가 이야기하는 한국을 좋아하는 10가지 이유를 번역해 공유합니다.
I feel like by that 6th month mark, you kind of like have a very good feel for the things you like about living in a place and the things you don't like. So I thought it would be fun if I just hop on here and do a video telling you guys all the things that I absolutely love about living in South Korea, because there are so many things that I absolutely adore about it. Alright, so the first thing that I absolutely love about Korea is the convenience factor of so many different things. When I went back to America in December, I realized like how much Korea excels in this. There are convenience stores literally on almost every block here. For example, if it is 2 a.m. and you are craving a sweet potato, you can literally go to a convenience store, which chances are there's probably one on your block, and you can get a sweet potato that is just cooking there, very warm, waiting for you. And along with the convenience factor is just the quickness of delivery here. I know in America we had Amazon Prime, which is something you have to pay for, but in Korea, if you order something online, for the most part, this doesn't go for everything, but for the most part, it will get to you the next day, sometimes that same day, or maybe like 2 days later, and you don't have to pay any extra for shipping. Most of the time, shipping is free. The second thing I love about Korea is the low rate of crime. So I have actually never had any kind of situation here in which I have felt like I was in danger. I think the most dangerous situation I've been in is just driving in a taxi, because those taxi drivers are absolutely crazy sometimes. You can walk at almost any hour of the day, but like for example, when I'm on the subway, I never ever have to worry about being like pickpocketed or someone reaching in my purse, because Korean people just don't really do those types of things. Versus I feel like in America or Europe, like that type of stuff happens all the time. I was talking to my friend, and like for example, if you were to literally put your phone down here on a bench and walk away, I feel like you could come back an hour later and your phone would still be there, or someone would have just turned it into the police station, because I feel like people here just don't steal. Third thing I love about Korea is their amazing healthcare system. Healthcare here is so incredibly cheap. One time I had food poisoning and I went to see a doctor and I got prescribed 2 different kinds of medicine, and I got an IV put inside of me to like restore my body or something like that, and I only paid 10,000 won for all of that, and that comes out to I think around $7 or $8 for all of that. I've also noticed that healthcare is extremely fast here. Like I've never really had to sit and wait for a really long time. You hear these stories all the time about Americans going to the emergency room and then they have to like wait 4 or 5 hours to see someone, and I feel like in Korea that is not as prevalent. Another example of how healthcare is amazing is in America, if you want to take birth control, you have to go see a doctor, you have to talk to them, you have to get like a specific kind prescribed, and you got to take that to the pharmacy, and then you have to pay every month for your prescription. But in Korea, you can literally just walk into a pharmacy, show the pharmacist the kind you want, and they just give it to you, and it's less than $10 per month. Alright, the fourth thing I love about Korea is just their overall appreciation for beautiful aesthetics. When you're walking around here, there are so many little touches I feel like different people and companies do to the outside of their building just to make it a really aesthetically pleasing by now. The fifth thing I love about Korea is their amazing transportation. Their transportation system is amazing. Never once here have I really wanted to have my car back. Obviously, living in America, I needed to have a car to get anywhere, but here transportation is so cheap. Subways and buses here are so incredibly cheap. I know some cities in America, subway is actually pretty expensive, like New York for example. I know subway is not super cheap there. Here it is 1,500 won per way, which is less than $1.50. And then also taxis are so cheap. If you want to take a 30-minute taxi ride here, it's probably going to cost you like $10. I'm not even kidding. The sixth thing I love about Korea, you guys probably saw this one coming, but the cafe culture is just off the walls. It's amazing. I love it. There's just I feel like an abundant amount of cafes where I live. So that means there's always somewhere to go, something to do, and a lot of these cafes have their own like different themes. The seventh thing I love about Korea, and this is actually kind of like a love-hate, so if I do a video talking about things that I don't like in Korea, I'll probably talk about this too, but sometimes I really do love the amount of effort people here put into their appearance. I know it can also be a really negative thing, so don't worry, I'm aware of that, but it is really nice when you go outside and you look around and everyone is just beautiful here. Like, you will not really see somebody that is looking like they just rolled out of bed, and if they do look like that, they probably have like a mask and a hat on and like a hoodie. I feel like it just makes for like an overall like really nice atmosphere. I feel like this is a very controversial point. The eighth thing I love about Korea is their food culture. Food is a huge part of Korea. If you make a new friend, they're probably gonna ask you all throughout the day, hey, have you eaten? Did you have lunch? Did you have dinner? What are you gonna eat next? What did you eat yesterday? What are you gonna eat tomorrow? So Koreans love food, and I just love the fact that there are so many restaurants here. These restaurants don't close early. Like, I've literally never seen a restaurant here close before 10 p.m. Like, I feel like most restaurants are open until like on the weekends at least like 2 a.m. Street food culture is so much fun. When it's nighttime, you can just go out to a little street food stand, and for super cheap you can get like a ton of different little food on sticks or in little cups, which is really fun to share with your friends. And then also their delivery service is just absolutely amazing. If you go outside, you'll see all these scooters with delivery food, little baskets on the back, just driving around, because people here love to order delivery and it gets to you extremely fast, and you can order almost anything to eat. Sometimes I wish I was like a mukbang channel, because it would be so easy to be a mukbanger here, because you can just order on your phone pretty much anything and then it comes to you within like an affordable. All right, the ninth thing I love about Korea is their fashion industry and just Korean people's sense of style. I feel like back in the States, most guys don't exactly have a huge sense of style. At least the guys that I met, I feel like they don't really care that much, but here like people care. And the 10th thing I love about Korea is their overall kindness to foreigners. For the most part, this doesn't go for everyone. It's really common for like a taxi driver to like strike up a conversation and like ask you what you do here and if you like it. And people, a lot of times they go out of their way to try and help you if they can tell that you need help. So for example, one time, this was like right when I moved here, I accidentally got on the wrong train from Daegu. So it's like an hour away. I was on the wrong train, and like I was just standing on the train while it was moving because I could tell that I was on the wrong train, and this lady could tell that I was like not on the right train. I think she could see me like trying to figure out my phone, and she like came over to me and she was like, hey, like, can I help you with something? What can I help you with? And she was just a passenger. She wasn't even working on the train. So I just thought that was like so nice and touching. People here, I've noticed, are very giving. So they, a lot of times, like, they'll just like throw in free food. Like if you go to one of the food stalls on the street, they'll just like give you free food. When I went out to eat with my friend the other night, they like gave us 2 free octopus just because we were there. And the whole giving aspect, I feel like, is something that starts very young in their culture, because a lot of my students, they will always come over to me and they'll just like shove snacks into my hands, and I feel like that's something that American students don't do so much. All right, so that sums it up for the 10 things I love about Korea. There's also a lot more things I love, so maybe I'll do a part 2 to this video. I feel so lucky every single day that I'm able to live in a place that offers so many advantages compared to some other countries. So yeah, I just feel like there's so much to love about this place.
해당 영상에는 많은 댓글이 달렸는데요. 11번째를 추가하자면 한국의 고객 서비스는 세계 최고라고 해도 과언이 아닙니다. 가게, 미용실, 레스토랑 등에서 왕족이 된 기분을 느낄 수 있습니다. 한국에서 지하철에 휴대폰을 두고 왔는데 1시간 만에 되찾았습니다. 한국인은 명예와 가족, 타인을 소중하게 생각합니다. 난 한국을 사랑해. 1년 전 딸이 교환학생으로 서울에 있었습니다. 평생 그곳에서만큼 안전하다고 느낀 적이 없습니다. 내 딸은 여권과 직불카드가 들어있는 지갑을 교실에 두고 갔고, 그녀가 돌아왔을 때 그것은 그냥 거기 있었습니다. 음식이 매우 훌륭합니다. 모든 것이 깨끗합니다. 모두가 매우 친절한 사람들입니다. 이 영상에 전적으로 동의하며 생활을 편리하게 해주는 IT 시스템을 추가하고 싶습니다. 한국은 은행, 음식 주문, 영화 예매 및 TV, 에어컨, 집 밖의 조명 등을 끄고 켜는 많은 일들을 말 그대로 휴대폰만으로 모든 것을 합니다. 한국은 살기에 최고의 국가 중 하나입니다. 내가 한국을 100% 좋아하는 점은 사람들이 얼마나 친절하고 그들이 당신을 얼마나 기꺼이 도와주는지입니다. 그들은 당신이 어려움을 겪고 있는 것을 알아차리면 당신을 돕기 위해 최선을 다할 것입니다. 또한 작은 선물이나 공짜를 주는 것을 좋아합니다. 너무 귀여워요. 제 한국 동료들도 너무 귀엽습니다. 우리는 모두 번갈아가며 서로 밥이나 커피를 사주고 서로 잘 먹고 잘 지내는지 늘 확인합니다. 한국인은 너무너무너무 귀여워요. 여러분의 소중한 의견을 남겨주세요. 바쁘시더라도 구독과 좋아요 부탁드립니다. 지금까지 단골이시였습니다. 시청해주셔서 감사합니다.